City Administration Education Bureau in collaboration with Addis Media Network. And I am Bizuna Makonnen. Today's lesson topic is representing data using pie charts. So today's lesson topic is pie chart, or simply it is circle graph. So, students, after this lesson, you are expected to represent a given data set using a circle graph or a pie chart. So, let's proceed to the lesson. Now, before directly representing data using pie chart, let's define what does mean pie chart. Pie chart. This is a chart that represents data sets using a circular region by dividing the circular region into sectors proportional to the size of the given data. So here, pie chart, this is a chart that represents data using a circle by dividing the circle into sectors proportional to the size of the data given. So here we have one term, sector. What the sector means? Sector is a region bounded by two radii and an arc of a circle. So here, if we have this circle and as in center, so the region bounded by two radii and an arc, so this region is a sector. So, circle graph, we represent data sets using circle graph by dividing this circle into various sectors proportional to the size of the given data. For example, if the data is bigger, the sector becomes big. If the data is small, the sector becomes small. So, now, what does this sector represent and how we divide the circle proportionally into sectors? Now here, we divide a given circle into sectors using this central angle here, using this angle. And the bigger this angle, the sector becomes bigger. So, this full circle represents how much degree? A circle represents, it is 360 degrees. A full circle or a circle represents 360 degree. This 360 degrees is 100% of the given data set, 100%. 360 or 100% of the given data set. Now, we will try to just represent a given data using sectors. Let's see example for this. Example. Represent the following example represent the following using a pie chart. Okay, this data set is given, it represents the number of students in varied grades in certain school, from grade 4 up to grade 8. The number of students in grade 4 is 240, and the number of students in grade 5 is 360. The number of grade 6 students 300, grade 7 180, and grade 8 is 120 is given here. Let's put again total number of students total from grade 4 up to grade 8. Let's add this 240 and 360. It is 600 plus 300. This also is 300. So this will be 1,200. The total number of students is given to be 1,200. Now here represent this data set using pie chart. Present the above data set using pie chart. Okay, so how do we represent this data set using pie chart? So here we have a circle, and we divide this circle into various parts. Into how many parts? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 parts, according to their size. So one part maybe this one, the other part 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But the size may not represent this one, so to find the exact size or the exact angle, we follow the following step. So we have to change each data value into degree, so that central angle or that degree represents a sector, and just we draw the sector and we divide, and so on. We divide each using that degree measure. Therefore, here, grade 4, when you see grade 4 students, we have 240. So the total data set is 1,200. This represents the total sector. The total sector is 360 degree. So here, 360 degree represents the total data set, is 1,200. So 240 represents what portion? We need to find that central angle for the grade 4 students. So By applying cross multiplication, here you have 240 times 360 divided by 1200 gives you the degree measure for grade 4, central angle measure for grade 4 students. Therefore, here, let's divide this. This is degree, 0 by 0, again 0 by 0, by 12, this 1, by 12, this 1 is this, it is 3, 3 times 24, it is 3 times 12 is 12, 70 degrees. Therefore, the degree measure representing number of students in grade 4 will be this 72 degree. We need to find each grade, or we have to convert the number of students in each grade into degree measure so that we can represent two pie chart. So this is grade 4, next grade 5. So here the total data 360 represents the total data set 1200. So what portion of this 360 represents how much degree? So we convert this 360 into degree. Therefore here this is equal to simply x is equal to multiply this 2 and divide by this 1. 360 times 360 degree divided by 1200. Therefore, this gives us 0 cancel out, this cancel out, this by 12 1, this by 12. 3 times 36 is 108. So this will be this 108 degree. And let's continue to grade 6. Grade 6. 360 represents the total amount of data set. So 300 students represents how much degree? So we'll find this. Therefore, this will be equal to this. You multiply these two and you divide by 1200. 300 times 360 degree divided by 1200. Okay, so just cancel these two. By 3, 1, by 3, this is 4. 360 divided by 4, it is 90 degrees. Therefore, the degree measure in a sector representing grade 6, it is 90 degrees. Let's continue to grade 7. Grade 7. Following the same method, the total sector represents 1,200. The total circle represents 1,200. So 180 represents what portion of the circle? So this equal to just multiply these two, or to find x, you multiply these two and divide by this one. So x is equal to this 180 times 360 degree divided by 1,200. So this is equivalent to this 0 cancel out, this again cancel out. By 12 1, this by 12 3, and 18 times 3 is 54. So this is 54 degree. Now the next one is grade 8. Grade 8, to find the degree measure of grade 8, the total 360 degree represents the total amount, or the total number of students, it is 1,200. So 120 represents what portion of the sector or the circle? So here x is equal to, take the product of the two, it is 360 degree times 120 divided by 1,200. So 0 cancel out. Again, this 0 cancel out. 12 cancel out. It will be 36 degree. Now, we have already found the degree measure each data set represents in a sector. So, we divide the circle into sectors using these central angles. So, let's divide the circle using these angles. Okay, let's just draw the pie chart here. This circle. So, assume this one is center. Now, let's divide this into according to the degree measure. Let me just use first this 90 degree, easy to measure it. Let me put this one. This is 90 degree. This 90 degree. This represents 90 degree represents which grade? Grade 6. So grade 6 is 90 degree. And let me use these two together 180. Therefore, let me draw like this. So, and assume this one need to 72 degree. This one is less than 90. It is 72 degree. 72 degree represents grade 4 students. This is grade 4. And this rest, this part is this 108, because these two together gives 180. So 108 degree represents which grade? Grade 5. This one is this grade 5. So we have these two together gives you 90 degree, and let's divide proportion to this angle. So 54 and 36. Assume this it is. Assume this one is 36 degree. This one is 36 degree. 36 degree represents grade 8. Grade 8. And the last one is it is 54 degree. This 54 degree represents grade, which grade? Grade 7. So this represents grade 7. Therefore, this is how we draw a pie chart. Just to summarize here, to draw a pie chart for a given data set, what you do is you have to convert each data into degree measure. So based on that degree measure, you divide the circle into sectors. So finally you will have a pie chart. That's it. So we'll proceed to the second example. Example 2. Okay, again, draw a pie chart for the following is an item, food, house rent, transportation, expense, saving. Assume this one is how a certain person divide his salary the expense and saving are here, and the expense and saving are given in percent form. So for food expenses, okay, so assume a certain person just use his salary according to this table. For food, he expend 40% of his salary, and house rent 20% of his salary, and for transportation 50%, and for saving he saved 25% of his salary. So how do we represent this data set using pie chart? In this case, no need of the expenditure here, but the expenditure is given in terms of percent, so I can just draw a pie chart using this percent, just by converting this percent into degree. So again, let's see how to draw this graph. Solution: we have to convert each into degree measure. The expenditure for food is this 40%. So I need to convert this 40% into degree. What portion does food represent in this sector? The sector is total. The sector is this 360 degree. I'm sorry. This circle is this. Its degree measure is 360 degree. I mean, if you have this one, just if you move the central angle, total central angle is 360 degree. Therefore, 40% represents what portion of this degree? So here, simply you find the degree measure by taking 40% of the circle, or 360 degree. Therefore, here, simply you multiply 40% by 360 degree, and you have the degree measure. So here, they will cancel out again. This cancel out. When you multiply these two, you will have 4 times 36. It is 144 degree. Now, let's just convert expenditure for house rent. For rent. Okay, for rent, the expenditure is this 20%. So we need to convert 20% into degree measure. So 20% of the degree measure, the total is 360. You take 20% of 360 degree. So this is equivalent to 20 times 360 degree. 0 cancel out, this also cancel out. The product gives you 72 degree. Now, the next expenditure is for transportation. For transportation, how much percent? 15%. Therefore, 15% of 360 degree, this will be equal to 15 times 360 degree. 0 cancel out. So by 5, this one is 3. By 5, this one is 2. By 2, 1. So by 2, 18. 3 times 18 gives us what? 54. This is 54 degree. Okay, the next one is saving. Saving 25%. So we need to convert 25% into degree. This 25% of 360 degree. This is 25 over 100 times 360 degree. So divide this by 25, 1 by 25, 4, 360 over 40 is 90 degree. Therefore, here we have converted each data set into degree measure. So for food, it's 144 degree, house rent is 72 degree, and transportation cost 54 degree, and saving is 90 degree. So we represent this using pie chart or by dividing the circle according to the degree measure into sectors. Let's divide the circle into sectors. So let's draw the circle graph here. Okay, this is in the center. Let's divide the data sets into sectors using the degree measure here. 90 degree. First, let's put 90 degree saving. Okay, 90 degree is this one. So this is 90 degree is saving. Okay, the next one, let's draw 144 degree. Assume it's less than 180. This up to here it's 180, 144 is less than 180. Assume this one is 144 degree. So this 144 degree represents food expense. Okay, the next one, 72 and 54. Assume this one is this 54 degree. This represents what transportation. This one is transportation cost. This one is transportation cost. Finally, you have what 72 degree represents house rents. Rent expense is this one is 72 degree. This will be this rent expense. So this is how we draw a circle graph. So I'll proceed to the next part. Example 3. The following pie chart represents the yield of a farmer. For different crops in Kuntai, for different crops in Kuntai. Now let's see the question again. Here, the following pie chart represents the yield of a farmer for different crops in quintal. Here, teff represents 120 degree, and wheat represents 90 degree, and maize here it represents 100 degree, and barley is not known. So the question here is, if the farmer got 72 quintal, total of 72 quintal, then calculate the amount of maize he got in quintal and barley in quintal. First, let's see the first question together. Okay, A. So this question, let's see maize. Maize here it is 100 degree. But the total amount is given. Here it is 72 degrees. The total represents 72 quintal. So this 72 quintal is the total sector, thus it is 360 degree in degree measure. So this 100 degree is a maize represents how much? So we can find this. So here, this implies 360 degree times x is equal to 72 times 100. 72 times 100 degree. To find x, you divide both sides by 360 degree, and this cancels out. X is equal to, cancel this 0, and 72 divided by 36, it is 2. By 36, 1. By 36, it is 2. 2 times 10 is 20. Therefore, here, the amount of maize he got in quintal is this 20 quintal. Now, the second question here is this B. Calculate the amount of barley in quintal. Here, barley, the degree measure of barley is not known. It's not given, but we can calculate this degree measure. Since we know that the sum of all here, these degrees gives you 360 degree, so I can find this one. Therefore, here, let's do this one here. Assume x degree plus 100 degree plus 120 plus 90. All these together gives you 360. Therefore, I can find x plus, let's add this. 100 plus 120 is this, 220. 220 plus 90 is this, 310 is equal to 360 degree. Therefore, x is equal to, shifting this to the other side, you have 360 degree minus 310 degree. Therefore, this will be this, the difference gives you this 50 degree. Therefore, the degree measure that represents barley is 50 degree. So now we can calculate the amount of barley in quintal. So 72, the total 72 quintal represents 360 degree. This total represents 300, the whole. So barley is how much degree it is? 50 degree, it represents how much quintal? We can calculate this. So assume to be x. This implies 360 times x is equal to 72 times 70 times 50. So dividing this both sides, you have x is equal to the product of the two, 72 times 50 divided by 360. 0 cancel out. 72 divided by 36, it is 2. 2 times 5, it is 10. Therefore, it is 10 quintal. The amount of barley he got in quintalities, it's 10. Now, let's proceed to the next part. Let me give you one question for you. Just calculate the amount of teff he got in quintal. Calculate the amount of teff he got in quintal. Please try this question. I will give you 30 seconds for this. Okay, students, have you tried the question? Very nice. Let's see the answer together. Okay, here we are asked to calculate the amount of teff. Teff here is 120 degree. So 120 degree represents how much? But here the total amount is given. So the total amount 360 degree represents 72. So what will be this? So applying cross multiplication, we can find this. X times 360, it is 360 times x is equal to 72 times 120. Divide both sides by 360 by 360. You have this. These two cancel out. X equal to 0 cancel out by 12, 1 by 12, 3. 72 divided by 3, let's divide here, 72 by 3, it is 2 times 6, 112, 12 by 3 is 4, therefore this will be 24 quintal. He got 24 quintal of teff. That's it. So just this all about today's lesson. I'll give you exercise for you to try it at home. Exercise. The following table shows how students travel to school, or the way of transportation they use. The following table shows how students travel to school, or the way transportation method use. Transportation method use. Okay, here bus, types of transportation, here this type, and number of students. Bus, 200 students say they travel to school by bus, and taxi, 100 students say they travel to school by taxi, and train, 50 students say they just go to school by train. Walk, 350 students, they say they travel to school by walking. So this data set is given. The question is, draw draw a pie chart for the above data set. So please try. Please copy the questions. I'll give you 1 minute to copy the questions. Students, have you copied the questions? Very nice. This is all about today's lesson. Please try the question in your home. Until next lesson, goodbye.